Hey guys, Buckskin Dave here. Well, I'm going to start machining this 50 caliber barrel. And first thing I'm going to do is take it down to our estimate size here. And then I'll probably go ahead and turn it down to the outside dimension that we want this to be. And we'll see how much time we have left. But we'll go to there. So I had a badger catch yesterday, so I'll go ahead and chuck this up and go ahead and check out this badger catch. As always, get you a cup of coffee, sit down, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. Well, that's not what I was looking for, but I am being paid to take badgers out, but this was a coyote set. Pretty much any coyote set will catch a badger, and so that's a good thing. This guy will be happy that this badger is gone. Most of it's all on private that I have badger sets anyway. So anyway, one down. We're starting to work our way through this batch of badgers. So I got this end chucked up and I got it close using circumference of the barrel, which should be pretty close. But I've made a little pilot. That'll actually go into the barrel. Okay, so now I have the dial indicator on the pilot here. So what it, and this pilot is perfect. It's really perfectly the right size of the bore. I mean, there's no wiggle at all. So when I spin this, if you notice my dial indicator is staying still maybe for a, well, we can adjust it. It's maybe a thousandth, couple thousandths, not around. So we'll go here. I'll tighten just a little. Okay. So now the indicator isn't moving. So this side is perfectly concentric. And now what I want to do is the back side. So I'll put this, and you really need this to dial indicate the muzzle because this is a octagon barrel. So we'll put this part again, put this part into the barrel here. And I have a dial indicator in the back. So we got the muzzle dialed in too. Yes. So now both of them, everything that we cut now is going to be concentric to the muzzle. So I will face this off. I will cut my diameter. I'll turn down my diameter, and I'll thread it, and I will chamber it while it is in this spot. Everything will always be the same, and it's all indicated and dialed in off of the board. So we're just about ready. I'm going to go ahead and face this down, but I need to get my outside dimension. So here's our template. This is our deal that I made, our phony stub. So we need to get an outside dimension here. I believe it's 1 point. Okay, so our outside diameter we're going to turn down to is 1 inch, 116 thousandths. I write it down because I got CRS, can't remember shit. So every time I look, I will have this right here. Okay, the other thing, before you start working on the lathe, make sure your hair's out of the way, your beard. Now, my beard isn't that long, but sometimes I get down close, you know, to see what's going on down there. And you do not want to get punched by Chuck. And if your beard or your hair or something catches on that thing when it's spinning, you're going to get headbutted. And I don't know who ever thought up the idea of headbutting. Whoever did, he never told us who's the one that falls down. I mean, if you headbutt somebody, you know, which one of you fall down? I guarantee if you headbutt that, you're going to be the one to fall down. So make sure you have your apron on, and there's nothing that can get caught that'll yank you into that, because it's very dangerous. All right. So anyway, let's just run a couple of passes and see how we're going to cut here and see if we got everything adjusted right. Okay, looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and face this off. Keep your lubricants you need. I usually use a good cutting oil, and you don't want the tool tip to get too hot, because if it does, it just dulls. So you keep some cutting oil on it, and I'll take a pretty good chunk off at a time. You don't want the machine to chatter, but you take off a little at a time. Until I'll get down to that spot that I've got marked there. And that'll allow me to take the block out of the sharp section and screw it down so I can get my lineups as far as getting my top flat where I want it. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this off, and then I'll bring you back in. Okay, I'm down to my last run here. I've been using a cooling fluid. Get my last run. Okay, I kind of took a heavy bite off of it. And the finish is pretty good, but it doesn't matter. That's not the finish edge. We're going to be taking more off of that. That's just an estimate where we're going to work with to get the flats lined up. I'm at 1 inch, 165 thousandths. So we got to go down to 116 thousandths. So I'm going to take a little bit more off. Now I'll start using the machine to measure my depths of cut and bring it in 10, 15 thousandths at a time and run it down till I bring it right into the exact size I'm looking for. Okay, so now I got my diameter and I've run back. See, I got a nice shoulder there. I had to change the tip so I can get a straight edge here. And it's looking pretty good now. So this, like I say, this piece is longer than it needs to be. But as we thread it, we'll take a little off of this shoulder and turn it in until we get the flap that we want on the top and the flap we want on the bottom perfectly flush with the top of the action. And then we'll mark it with a punch. We'll mark it with a line, chisel, so that it can be brought back to that spot every time. So right now we're to where we want to be for right now. I like to always double check my work. Yep. Yep. 1/6, just where we want it. So next time we're gonna set up for threading. So this action has a square thread, and it's a metric deal. I think it's 2.5 is the pitch. But I have to change gears again in the back here. I got it set up for English threads. We'll have to change the gears. And then we'll cut our thread and we'll start lining up our, we can see our mark. This is going to be our bottom. We got a mark here. That's our bottom flap. So I got it set, so that's the top flap. We'll mark that. We'll mark it with a T. And when we thread it, we'll take that shoulder down. It never comes out right the first time. It'll come out, and then we'll have to take that shoulder down so it turns a little bit further until it lines up there. And then it'll be right where we want it. So I don't generally just go after the whole job at once. I do a little bit, and to tell you the truth, I've got a little, not really a gun show, it's just a little store that we have here, and there's going to be some of the craftsmen are going to show some of their work, and kind of got to get set up for that. So I'm going to quit right here and get set up for that. And next time we're going to do some threading, and we'll get set up and thread that and line that up. Then after that's done, we got to take the action apart too, so we can, once we get the threads deep enough, then we can work it, make sure it's going to come right in. So stick with me. I'll see you next time. I'm Buckskin Dave. Have a great day. Bye-bye.